Hello, Gemini. These are your cards for May of 2023. I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and if you'd like to learn more about my live online Reiki certification courses, or if you'd like to schedule a one-on-one reading with me, go ahead and visit my website, learnreikiphiladelphia.com, or check the links in the description below. So without any further ado, let's head on over to your cards. Okay, so Gemini, this month there's quite a bit of change and a lot of invitation for reconsideration. So just putting that out there to start. The focus of the month is the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords, and by the way, if you haven't already, definitely check the videos for your sun, moon, and rising sign if you happen to know them, because it'll give a lot more clarity on your month ahead overall. This card has come up for several people. So this is definitely a theme. For several signs, rather. So it's definitely a theme. So this is the Two of Swords. And this is actually a woman clad in what looks like a two-piece bathing suit, holding the two swords, but she is kind of wrapped in this gauzy fabric that's covering her face and kind of wrapped around her. She's looking forward and up, but she's not paying attention to what's behind her. And there is a wave that will eventually, come in and take her down if she's not paying attention. That's really what this card means in a nutshell. It's the two swords. Swords represent logic and basically thinking, the mental side of life, what goes on in our mind. This card shows a lack of visibility to what's going on around you, usually because you either don't want to see it, or it's not convenient to see, or because things are going really well and there's no reason under normal circumstances to look deeper. So this is basically saying there's two sides of the logic and intellect, but you're not using them, you're sort of holding them at bay and looking away. This could be to your detriment. So what this means in the focus card position is this month is all about finding the truths. It's all about looking deeper. It's all about uncovering things. It's all about taking the blinders off, seeing things for what they really are, even if it's not convenient or if it doesn't feel good. So we'll start there. How are we entering this month coming out of April? That's a 10 of coins. This is a big focus on resource, stability, and happiness in terms of life, family, home, but also like roof over your head and finances more than anything. Coins, pentacles, same difference, different things in different decks, but basically they represent the finite goods and the basic needs, the things we need to survive and thrive, from money to roof over the head to the basic stuff. And the 10 is the culmination of that. That's like working to a point of things feel very solid, very secure financially and in terms of everything you need, and working towards that. And ultimately even though this is really talking about items and riches, it's really also talking about doing what is most important with those things. Like, who else are we sharing that beautiful home with, etc. So happiness too, family, friends, things like that. The challenge for this month is a Wheel of Fortune. And a Wheel of Fortune it's like a change of fate. It's usually like something out of nowhere, so everything changes. This can show up because this is a very general reading for all of the Geminis out there. This can be a lot of things. Given what we started with, remember that Two of Swords, if I could give that Two of Swords like a shorthand reference, it would be la 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 la, I can't see you. It's like not seeing things for what they are. This is like something shifts, and now all of a sudden those details become massively important. Something moving, something shaking, something shifting. This is a big, powerful major arcana card. This is the 10 in the deck, and it's in some cases I often liken it to a roulette wheel, the roulette wheel of life. It lands where it lands, you go where you go. But even more so, it's not so random happenstance as like playing roulette. It's a little bit more weighted by your actions, your inactions, the actions and inactions of those around you, things like that. But the challenge is big change, big shifts. How that shows up will be different for all of you, but let's keep going. So what's the best path forward? Best path forward. This is the Page of Swords. Pages are very youthful energy, and it's also very beginning kind of energy. The Page of Swords is an energy of being loud and saying what's in one's mind. The way I like to think about this card is if you're familiar with the Hans Christian Andersen tale, the Emperor's New Robes. In the Emperor's New Robes, the emperor is told by these salesmen that come to town, this fabric is so special that only the most smart and intelligent people can see it. It's invisible to everyone else. And so, of course, the king says, oh, of course, I can see it, knowing he doesn't see anything. But he's not going to say, oh, I'm too dumb to see it. So he says, no, I see it. I see it just fine. And so does everyone working for him and everyone else. And then there's a day where there's a grand parade where the emperor is showcasing his beautiful new robes. And a young boy comes out from along the parade route and points at the king and says, why is the king naked? And that's when everyone realizes, yeah, nobody is seeing any fabric. These were two swindlers who came through and told everyone, oh, well, if you don't see it, you must be really dumb. And they bought it, except for this little boy who was like, I'm going to call it as I see it, just like a little boy would. That's the energy of this. It's the little boy at the end of the Emperor's New Robes who stands in the middle of the room and says the obvious thing, much to the chagrin of everyone around. This is the best path forward placement in your reading. So the best that you can do with this la 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 I can't hear you kind of vibe is to be that kid in the Hans Christian Andersen book and just like, hey, look, as far as I can see it, the king is naked. You need to get down to brass tacks like that with yourself, with your life, with those in your life, because tides are changing and simply standing there holding the two swords and not looking is only going to get you knocked over. So what's the whispers from your guides? What do your guides want you to know? And with that, we get some deep insight. The Hanged Man. This actually gives us almost like a whole nother reading's worth of information. So the Hanged Man is yet another major arcana card, and this one is all about divine timing. And yeah, the Wheel of Fortune kind of is too. So the Hanged Man is basically, if you look at him here, he's hung upside down, yes, but let's take a closer look. Take a look at, I know it's a little hard to see, but take a look at the expression on his face. He's not in pain. He's not in any pain. Now, if I was hanging upside down from my ankle, I think it might hurt, but that's not what this is meant to represent. It's not like he's been trapped or caught or anything like that. This is a deeply spiritual card about going internally and shifting your perspective. The Hanged Man is basically a card meaning of, one, things can be delayed because there's a spirit is making delay so that you have an opportunity to realize something or think something through or change your perspective, change the way you look at it. And that's literally what he's doing. He's seeing everything upside down. It gives him a chance to think of things from a completely different upside down perspective. The magic of this card is that wealth of knowledge that we get when we have time to sit and think and view things anew and take some time to ruminate and reflect and then maybe see if we haven't shifted within ourselves. The sort of the difficulty that it brings isn't really, it feels difficult in the moment. And that's like when you feel like you want to move forward and all of a sudden everything is challenging and you can't move forward. All you can do is take a different look at things or double check everything. That's what this is telling you. Your guides are saying all of this being thrown into the air is so you can use this opportunity to take those swords and the blindfold and the la 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 la, I can't hear you, to put them down and say, okay, what am I seeing? What's really going on here? Let me take a deeper look. So I would take a deeper look at pretty much everything, but especially what you've entered the month with. I would definitely look at resources, money, finances. Make sure that if you've made any recent big changes, that they're really still in alignment with your highest good and where you want to go. But overall, this can show up in any part of your life. This can be interpersonal, this can be business, this can be all of those things. This can be sort of like, basically like life shifting potentially. And that's really what the Wheel of Fortune is about. So any place in your life that you feel you've neglected or that you feel very stuck in, definitely use this time to go through and see things a little bit more logically. See things through the eyes, not of like, I'm sure it'll be fine, but more of, let me make sure it's fine. And I feel like you'll be headed in the right direction. And Gemini, I really do wish you the best and brightest of this month. It's going to feel difficult, but in hindsight, when you look back on this time, you're going to think, oh, thank goodness I had the time to reflect on that and change my mind. It's one of those. So definitely wish you all the best. If you want to be alerted the moment that your June cards are available, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. And if you found this helpful, please go ahead and hit that like button. It super helps me out. And again, thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you again soon, and bye for now.